Wednesday morning, you're watching Acadiana's favorite way to start the day. Our program is called Partout. Thanks for joining your cup of coffee with us. Right now, let's head back to the TV10 studios.
And welcome back to Passé. Our next guests on the show this morning are Cindy Frazier, also Andrea Poche. They're with Heart of Hospice here in Lafayette. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good to see you this morning. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
After the election. Talking about National Hospice Month and, of course, what you can do to help with hospice here in Acadiana. Wonderful service. But a lot of folks out there are saying, I've heard the name hospice a lot. What exactly is hospice care and what's involved in that?
Hospice is for patients who have an end-stage illness. It does not necessarily mean that they may expire tomorrow. That's a big myth. We can take care of patients with all different diagnoses. We just need a physician's order.
And I understand you do this with the help of volunteers. And are you looking for volunteers?
Always looking for volunteers, looking for great people to add to our volunteer team. Easy for them to come and apply with us. They can simply call the office. They'll talk directly to me as the volunteer coordinator. We have a very simple application process for them.
And what kind of volunteers are you looking for? Professional volunteers or doctors or nurses or?
All. We always need to expand the volunteer team. We're always looking for people to do direct patient care, which have to do with visits to patients in facilities and in the home. And we also need people to make crafts, write cards, make phone calls, give haircuts, do manicures, many different things.
So you don't have to be a doctor or nurse to be involved or be a volunteer for hospice. Let's talk about the importance of hospice to the family during a very critical part of their life or their family's lives. Why is it so important to the family to have hospice?
We have such a good support team. We have social workers, we have chaplains, we have bereavement people, we have CNAs that will go in the house and help support with the family giving a bath, and of course our nurses who go in and give the day-to-day care. So it's just a well-rounded service that we give not only to the patient but to the family, and then bereavement follows the family for 13 months following the patient's passing.
Okay, many times they're the lifeline to the rest of the world for other folks, because I've been involved in this before, and hospice does so much to help out the family during a very serious time of your life, during a very difficult time of your life, and sometimes you have difficulty dealing with it, and as you said, help in many different areas, and if you could volunteer, that would be wonderful. So how do people apply if they would like to volunteer?
They can simply call our office and ask to speak with me. Usually we can do most of the process through email, phone call, we can mail out applications, and then once the application is done, we do free orientation and free ongoing training for all of the volunteers.
And what kind of commitment is involved here if you'd like to volunteer?
There is no time commitment. People can volunteer at their leisure, and they can volunteer for whatever span of time that they're available for.
Okay, if you'd like to get more information, what do we do? Where can we go?
Call 337-232-8159.
All right, that's Heart of Hospice, and thank you very much for the job you did. Appreciate it.
Thank you again.
Right now, let's check on the weather once again for Acadiana. A little chilly outdoors, so grab the sweater, he says. Well, he says that we have some colder weather on the way, and of course we'll have information on that very shortly, because, as we said, the seasons are changing here in Acadiana. It's November, you would expect some cold weather.
Yes.
But right now, let's find out exactly how cold it is this morning. I think you need a sweater, not the big coat this morning, right, Heath?
Yeah, Gary, it is chilly out there.